Hey everyone, this is Carla. Today I wanted to talk about a topic called people pleasing, and I feel like everyone has heard about it or whatnot. I've heard about it for a couple years, but I never thought that I actually suffered from it. I always thought of myself as someone that can say no when necessary, like not fall into peer pressure or whatnot. But then as I learned more about this topic, I realized there was a lot more that goes into people pleasing than just that. Like, for example, remaining silent when you have an issue. So this is like a kind of like a big one for me. Depending on where I'm at, like if I don't know anyone or if like I'm new at work or anything like that, I'll be the type of person mostly that would just kind of like stay silent or like not really speak up or not want to disagree. Like that was me to the T. Like I would rather just stay quiet and keep the peace than like bring up an issue or say like, no, I think this way, disregarding your needs. So this is huge. Like this is just like, it goes along with putting other people first. It just allowing other people to kind of rule the show. Like my life used to be so different where I was like picking up calls from friends and family members like, okay, like how can I help you? Like what's going on? This is what I think you should do. Make sure you don't say this and make sure, like it was just extreme. Like I would literally drop off one call and then I'd pick up the next call and like do the same thing. And it was interesting too because like I struggle with this even now, is like I have a hard time reaching out for help. So even if I had a crappy day, even if I was crying from a crappy day, I would pick up that call and help that person out. And then I would hang up and then I would continue my crappy day. Like it was just so insane. Like it's not like it was reciprocated. It's not like, and a lot of that has to do with me too. It's like, I'm not asking for the help that I need. They probably have no idea the type of day that I had. Feeling responsible for other people's feelings, like that goes along with like detaching yourself from other people's experiences of you and just not allowing you to like act according to what's going to be the best case scenario for other people, but for yourself. Overscheduling yourself / taking on more tasks, for example, like at work when you're already overwhelmed. I was notorious for this too. I had a job that, long story short, I was overworked like crazy. And my manager would like add on more things for me to do. And I would be like, oh yeah, I got it. Like I would work on Saturdays and I would stay late and I would come in early. Like for what? A salary position that I'm going to be getting paid the same no matter what? Like no. So I think an important part of this is like recognizing why we do it. Because I saw this thing on TikTok earlier today where it talked about how givers and takers, and then there's these givers that have this narrative of themselves of like, oh, I'm such a good person, I'm so noble, I'm nice, I'm so kind, I'm all these beautiful and positive things. And it's like, but wait a minute, why are you doing this? Like, let's get down to the root of it. And I thought that was super interesting because if you think about it, like it sounds noble. Like I thought I was being so kind and the best friend and best family member ever, but then as I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute, what was I getting out of this, right? Like, yeah, like I was helping someone, but I was getting like validation and like, oh, Carla, you're the best. Like you're the best advice giver and you're always there for me and I can always count on you and all these beautiful things. And it's like, that's the kind of feedback I would get. And that's what I needed because I had a void in me that needed to prove my worth, needed to prove that I was a good person, that I was kind. Like I didn't have that on my own. I didn't have self-love for me to be like, you know what? I don't need your feedback or thoughts about me to validate the person that I am. So even though it sounds very noble and sounds very nice, it's actually not, because the more you do these things for other people, the more resentment you start building towards them. You're like, well, this person wouldn't do this for me. And it's like, that's not that person's problem. Like, you're the one that sets your own boundaries. You're the one that teaches people how to treat you. It is your responsibility to have that enough self-love, enough self-validation to not have to find that in other people. So it's almost like you're being manipulative subconsciously, right? Because you're like, you think you have the power and control to how other people view you as, but deep down you're feeling negative, you're feeling resentful, you're feeling like, well, this person's selfish and this person's a taker, this person's this and that. And it's like, it's more of a you problem more than that person's problem. And I think once I like realized that, I started to realize like, I don't want to do this to myself or to the other person that I'm supposedly helping out. Like, I want to get to the point, which is where I am now, that if I say yes to something, it's because I want to do it. If I say yes, I want to go out, which is like a big deal because I don't like going out. But if I say yes to going out, it's because I want to hang out with this person. It's because I want to, do whatever we're planning on doing. And that's the energy with that is so different than like, oh, I guess I have to do this. I guess I'm going to pick up this call. It's like, if I don't want to pick up your call or if I am doing something, I won't. And it's as simple as that. And like before I'd be like, oh, like I'm doing this and I'm busy and now I'm like, hey, what's up? Like I'll text the next day and be like, what's going on? And I think that really helped my relationships out, because when you stop being that go-to person, two things are going to happen. One of two things. Either that person's going to be like, what the hell is going on? Who is this person? I'm out because I'm not getting what I was getting before and it's no longer serving me. In those situations, they were never your friend to begin with. So if they want to leave, then that does you a favor. Or most likely, hopefully, they'll start to recognize themselves like, this is not the person that I can just talk and call whenever the hell I want. I actually have to make sure that they're available. And if they don't answer, then that's okay. I'm not going to be blowing up their phone like, when are you going to be available? I'm just going to go find someone else to talk to. And that's so beautiful. Like the fact that you don't have to feel so attached to people in a way that it's like not really serving your own life. Because like I said, for someone like me especially that doesn't really reach out to other people, it's like now I have a chance to work on myself and like work through my own things. And I have more time, I have more clarity to do and say and be the person that I want to be, because I'm not so overwhelmed with other people's problems. Like I can actually focus on my own problems and do what I want to do. One of the things that I wanted to talk about too is what do we do to get better at this? Because like I said, like I'm still working on this. It's still something that I have to think about. It's a lot easier now. It doesn't take that long anymore. But I still have to ask myself, do I actually want to do this or am I doing this for other reasons? So number one would be recognition. Like everything is through recognition, right? Like if you're an addict and you don't think you're an addict, then that's pretty much the end of you getting better. So recognizing that you have these tendencies, recognizing that they're not healthy for yourself or for that other person. And like I said before, like I think a good friend would actually be the type of person that would do things with me because they want to do it, not because they feel like they have to do it. And I think also looking back at your childhood is super important, kind of seeing like, what is it that you learned when you were little? I would say in my situation, I had to prove myself a lot. Like I have to do X, Y, Z in order to feel loved. Like it was very conditional. So it makes sense that as I grew up, I would do that with other people. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to work 60 hours a week. Oh yeah, I'm going to work 6 days a week and I'm going to do all these things. And it's like, I was proving that I am worthy of being a good worker, but that does not work, y'all. And then I would say another thing is to like practice self-love. Like I started very small because big things overwhelm me. So what I started doing is I would do like a 5 to 10 minute self-love meditation. And I would say all of those meditations are great. Like even here on YouTube, they pretty much all say that you are worthy of love because you are. You're valid as a human being. Like you don't need to work or do or serve anyone to feel like that void fill up. Like you are just the way you are and you're perfect just the way you are. And you don't have to do things for other people or for jobs or anything to prove that you're worthy of love or you're worthy of anything, pretty much. Like you just have that within you. You also have to detach yourself from other people's experiences of you. And what I mean by that is like, you don't have to be in control of like how people are going to see you because you have zero control. Even when you try to be someone that you're not, people are still going to either like you, not like you, love you, or hate you. Like, you have no control of any of that. And you might as well just be yourself, because then the right people will gravitate towards you anyway. And that's what happens too, like when you start having, which is my next point, having boundaries, you start realizing that you're bringing in more quality people in your life. I would say less quantity and more quality. And I think at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Like, I would rather have 1 or 2 really solid friends than have 10 friends that just want to call me and tell me their problems any day, you know? So anyway, I hope that this video helped and you got value out of it. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe for the next one. Peace. Should I go? Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everyone, this is Carla. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.